Welcome back to another edition of Pages Promotions Virtual Book Festival Autumn 2020, a production of Indie Reads TV, and we find our home on CNM TV in Troy, Michigan. Today we are welcoming back into our crazy little Zoom room Angela Verges, and she wrote this great book called wait a second, I'm trying to do technology and speak simultaneously. There we go. So this is Angela Verges, and she wrote this awesome book called Menopause Ain't No Joke. So we're going to talk to her about that and about a whole bunch of other stuff. And, you know, as it does, it might get a little silly. So just, you know, hang on to your chairs here. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Hey.
So we're coming back. We had this great conversation with you the last time you were here about your book, and we got you to read a little bit. That was super fun. We had lots of giggles. So I'm sure that everybody has a ton of questions, but I'm going to start first with a semi-serious question, and then we'll just let the room go where it goes. Okay. But so my thought was, this is kind of it's a pretty serious topic, right? That you've made tremendous light of, and you've made it really, really easy for us to talk about and play with, but at the same time feel comfortable with what can sometimes be an uncomfortable conversation. Are there any other topics like this that you would like to attack and kind of put your humorous spin on?
I can attack just about anything, food included. There we go. But yeah, that one just came to me because it was something that I was actually experiencing. And that's usually where I start, is it's something that's happening in the now. Mm-hmm. I just go from there. You know, if somebody asks me to speak somewhere and they have a particular theme, I always ask them what their theme is and try to uncover the humor with that as well. And that's some of the essays that are in the book, Menopause Ain't No Joke. Some of them are parenting essays, things that I'm going through with my kids and everything. Right. And that's just where it starts, and it snowballs from there.
Have you been able to find any nuggets of fun through this COVID craziness that you might, you know, put into a book, or maybe send along to our Simple Things anthology? I know a lot of people are struggling right now with finding any kind of positive something coming out of COVID. So I was wondering if you found any funny.
I have found some things funny because at the beginning of COVID, my kids are college age, so they came home from spring break and they never went back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was good or not. I was joking with my son the other day, and that's how I handle it, is finding the humor. I mean, we had a time, all three of us were sitting at the table on our computers, and I'm in my Zoom room, they're talking. I'm trying to be in a staff meeting, and then my son walks past with no shirt on. I'm like, really? That's my boss over there in the corner frame. Just back away a little bit. So just different things like that I've been finding funny, and I've been journaling throughout, just trying to find things that I'm grateful for during this time, because it is stressful going through COVID and not being able to get out. I mean, I did a couple videos just in my kitchen while I was at home, and, you know, under quarantine, as we say. I just put on the music and I said, well, hey, this is my dance break, even though I'm at work. Yeah. Off beat or whatever. So
there you go.
Things like that I found humor in.
Excellent. At this time, I'm going to say, everybody turn on your microphones, and this is the time when you can ask questions or say anything you like.
Join the meeting.
So feel free. Yep, there she is.
I'll start for a second and then I'll shut up. But
oh gosh, don't do that.
We're always looking for something to appreciate, especially in this time of COVID. And I appreciated reading little clips and funnies from you. So thanks so much for making something I'm going through right now very funny. Not me, but going upstairs with.
Right. Yeah. Right. I appreciate that.
Anyone else have questions? Commentary?
I just want to second that. It was just so nice to get just little bite size of, get you through. If we don't laugh, we'll cry. And that's always, definitely welcome right now.
Absolutely. Well, when I saw you at Sterling Fest, what was it now? 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years. Yeah.
Was it 2 years? Holy moly. So 2 years ago, when I saw you at Sterling Fest, I was first shocked because I looked at the book and went, wait a minute. Wait a second. This is like serious topic. And then you said, oh no, it's not really all that serious. Take a look. And I was looking through it and I thought, how did this happen? It was such a wonderful dichotomy of this really intense subject. And I just thought it was the best way to hit something like this head on. I mean, just how cool.
And that's kind of what I've been telling people anytime I've done book festivals, when we were able to go out, is just a conversation starter, basically, just open up and share a little bit of what I'm going through. And then I've had people come up to me and whisper, you know what? I have those bad night sweats too. It just starts them talking, and they're comfortable talking to me as a stranger, I guess, because I shared with them as well. So I said, well, if that can relax somebody and help them get through a situation, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Anyone else have questions? Go ahead, Julianne.
What else do you have in mind? Where do you want to head with your writing?
I want to head out of menopause first.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'd rather not just break out into sweat randomly. I like essay writing. Picture books were my first love, but then I took a side journey and started doing essays. And actually, tomorrow starts the Irma Bombeck Writers Workshop.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yes, yeah. I am so excited. I did it for the first time in 2018 because they offer it every 2 years. And it was supposed to be in April. They postponed it to October, and then it got switched to virtual. So can you
real quick give us a little understanding of what that conference is about?
Yes.
Because we all know Irma Bombeck, but what do they do in this conference in case anyone out there wants to investigate it?
Yeah, and it's one that you have to get in. I didn't realize the first year I went, I got in off the waiting list. They usually open it up at a certain time, like at 12 noon on December 1st or something like that. And they can take so many. I believe there were about 400 people or something like that at the conference. It's held in Dayton, Ohio. It's a humor writers conference, and they have all kinds of breakout sessions. They have lunch. And actually I just auditioned for something they called Irma's Got Talent, where they selected 12 people to do stand-up comedy, randomly selected people.
Oh, what fun!
So that was cool. Yeah, and they have these different breakout sessions where you can sign up just like any other conference. You look at the session titles and see what you want to go to. It could be about learning the business of comedy, stand-up humor writing essays, just a whole gamut of different things. And it was really worthwhile. I really enjoyed that.
That's very cool. Sounds like a lot of fun too.
Yes, look for it in December.
So where are you heading with your writing?
Where am I heading with it? I didn't answer that question, did I? I went all around.
That's all right.
You got sidetracked.
You're a stand-up comic, so it's okay.
Maybe I don't know where I'm headed.
This Zoom room is just simply a little river that meanders around things and over things. It's okay.
We'll eventually circle back. Right now I'm working on an ebook. I like to do an ebook, something related to humor, whatever way I can make that relate. Right now I'm looking at this next piece as providing tips on how to include humor in stressful situations or in your day, just uncovering humor in, unlikely places. And it jumps out at us. If you really look for it, you'll see it jumping out unlikely. I like to go to Tim Hortons as one of my writing spots. And I was there one day and they had a sign on the door and it said, short staff. And I'm thinking, Is that for where the short people go in? And I was like, I wanted to go tell him, maybe you should change that, or either it's just my thinking, but why are you picking on the short people? I'm one of them. So just finding ways to use humor as a stress relief.
Awesome. Anyone else have questions? Okay, so have you considered writing just a normal novel, fiction, something? And if you have, what kind of fiction would you write? What genre do you think you might gravitate toward?
That's a good question. I have thought about writing a novel. I started one maybe about 3 years ago. I did the NaNoWriMo national. Yeah, I did that. I didn't finish it, but it did give me a good start. What I like reading are a lot of mystery, suspense type novels. I think I would probably want to do something with the romance, because I'm a Hallmark Channel junkie too. So something along those lines. If I had to narrow it down, that's what I would go for.
Okay.
Well, you know, you do have a wonderful opportunity if you're a Hallmark junkie. There's this anthology coming out of simple things that, you know, things that we're thankful for during the COVID.
Ooh.
And you could write something that would fit in and be real Hallmark Channel-y.
If I could pull it together quick enough.
I know you could do it. You could do anything.
It's not like you have to write a novel for it. It can just be a quick essay. It's okay.
I think if you read a little bit of Janet Ivanovich, when she talks about her grandmother, you could write that.
Wow, I'm gonna jot that down. Janet
Ivanovich. She's fun. She's a lot of fun.
And I think if you took 15 minutes and thought about your days at the kitchen table, you could come up with a story that would be inspiring and awesome, even if it's about your son walking by with no shirt on and your boss saying, wow, I'm impressed. Does he work out? You know, that's something fun. You know, it's all there, and you've obviously found it in your book. A nice short story for this great anthology would be awesome.
Okay, that's it. Andrew, you're hired.
Right. I was going to say, Andrew is a pitch guy, hype man, all of that.
He's wonderful.
Raise a roof.
Yeah. Anyone else have questions for Angela?
No, I want to jump on the back of Diana's statement earlier. You know, obviously when you walk in, and when I first saw your book and saw Menopause, no, it isn't. That's exactly what I said when I saw your book. It sure isn't. I'm hiding in a corner right now. But, you know, there are other pseudo uncomfortable situations that you know, can bring up you know, men in the common cold. There you go. How men handle a cold. I'm dying.
Yes, you are kidding.
You know, my great day with the stomach flu. Whoa.
Yeah. There you go.
All sorts of good stories that are out there that would be along the same lines. But have you, I mean, obviously you've got a lot of focus where you are, but have you thought about anything past that?
I thought about that. I had a friend who's a male friend too. He had even suggestions. He's like, well, why don't you tell it from the male's perspective or something like that too? I was like, oh yeah. You know, if you got that wife laying next to you or whoever sweating all over you because it's hot, or pulling the covers off over here and throwing
off
them
and on, off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on. Okay.
Mood swings. I'm happy Norm's sad.
But see, here's the other thing about this is that there are those of us, not, you know, we have friends who went through this horrific time in life and didn't get to experience any of that stuff. And some of us really wanted to. I went through my whole life being way, way too cold, and I was looking forward to menopause, and then it didn't happen. I wanted the hot flashes, and it didn't happen. So I'm a little, disenfranchised with the whole menopause thing right now.
You just lost the entire room, Diana. I'm sorry. We all hate you now.
Right.
I don't.
That's another flip of that coin, is that, there are some of us that don't get the joys of menopause.
Yeah. I had a friend tell me that she never had hot flashes, night sweats,
Nope,
none of that.
Nope.
I'm like, what about mood swings? Do you cry on a commercial when the puppy comes out?
Yes.
No
Wait a second,
more than
I
I
do
did.
that.
No more than I did normally. I've been weeping at ASPC commercials for my entire lifetime. So
Yeah. And if you don't cry at the Budweiser commercials,
right.
I mean, hey.
Just
you
not
have no
normal.
soul. Yeah.
Right.
See, and Diana, I'm sitting here thinking you don't want the night sweats because, like, I haven't gone through menopause, but one, I already have the mood swings, so my husband can attest to that. But like, I started a medication where all of a sudden I'm like waking up in the middle of the night, just like drenched in sweat, and like I would have to go change. I would have to lay a towel over the sheet because
what I would give
when your husband is sitting
what
there.
I would give.
But
And
no, you don't, because see, I'm
No.
always cold. I am always cold.
Yeah.
But that
I am
is
too.
not fun. That
because
is not fun.
No, because you get real hot and sweaty, feel like you're in the pool, and then it's ice cold because you're wet.
Yes, you get even
You're
colder.
like, what?
You get even colder and you can't warm up. And it's like, and I finally was like, why is this happening? And my husband started researching the side effects of my medication. And I'm like, oh, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I live on the opposite side of that spectrum. I have an electric blanket on my side of the bed that I have turned on in July. So I don't get it.
I have a cat on both sides.
Well, there you go.
Clueless.
Julianne's got it made.
Yeah.
Much
I
cheaper.
used to have that electric blanket. Now I'm scared to wear a turtleneck. I'm like, can't pull that off quick enough.
That's your next book. Are you afraid of a turtleneck?
Yeah.
So, Angela, you brought up an interesting point of view just a second ago. Have you ever, because of your book, done a full bout of stand-up comedy for a group?
I have done a 10-minute set.
Oh.
That's about
awesome.
the most I've done so far. I've done a 10 to 15-minute set at different places, like some luncheons and breakfasts and things like that. So I do have a couple. And then I was just selected as a semifinalist in this contest through Flappers Comedy Club in California. So I'm working on a 5-minute set for them.
That's awesome.
It's going to be virtual in November 11th, actually. It'll be virtual. There are about 12 of us.
I think you would absolutely kill at Story Slams. I mean, something like, I think you should submit some of your work to the Moth.
Oh, really?
Look it up. It's so good. My husband listens to it all the time, and they're essentially 5-minute stories, and it's done in the style of Story Slam, and it's so great. And I think your work would be perfect for that.
Oh, I'll have to look that up for sure. I've heard somebody else talk about the Moth as well, and I like sharing stories. That's how it kind of started for me. Is I get up there and just say, well, I'm just sharing stories more so than just one-liner punchlines, but I just go with whatever flows and work it out.
Yeah, investigate the Moth. I think you would be a really good fit for them. And they do a thing, I think a couple of times a year in Ann Arbor. So they do have a resource nice and close, but it's a national thing. I think it's on, it's PBS or NPR, or, but it's like out there and really well known.
I've seen something before, but I didn't know it was the Moth. I have seen something like on a Saturday morning or something. They had some storytelling going, and I've watched that. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, check it out.
Make
Go
sure
ahead,
you
Andrew.
post the link where we can get tickets to your stand-up.
Oh, I sure
Yes,
will. Okay, I'll
absolutely.
do that.
Because
Yeah.
we
Then
would
we
all
can
love
all
to
come
be,
visit.
especially if you're doing it virtually, we can all show up.
Yeah, I'll
We
do
could be in the
that.
virtual audience going, woo, 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 woo.
Right. And I'll have to stop and say, "Oh, hey, Andrew." Right in the middle.
You guys, we are running out of time. We're having so much fun. I was having such a good time. I forgot to turn on my stopwatch. So we're just having a blast. So let's see if we can wrap it up just so that we don't run over time and CNM doesn't get mad at me. One or two last questions from anyone?
I just wanted to encourage you with your type of writing because I did a library event last week, a virtual event, and they told me, the librarians, that they get so many requests for humorous stories and humorous writing, and they
Wow.
don't seem to have, especially at this time of COVID, because people certainly like all types of genres, but there's something lighter, and so keep at it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Awesome.
Anything else? Okay, let's let's wrap it up then. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm really glad we got to do this, and Angela, please keep us up to date on your stand-up and keep us up to date on your writing. Post on the Facebook page so that we can follow your career as it develops, because I think that's going to be fun. Andrew, you're such a blast. So much fun. Okay. So in case I haven't said it enough, this is Angela Verges. She is an awesome human being, and you've got to look up her book. It's called Menopause Ain't No Joke. We're going to post a link to it on our Facebook page so you can find it. This has been another edition of Pages Promotions Virtual Book Festival Autumn 2020, a production of Indie Reads TV. We find our home on CNM TV in Troy, Michigan. Thank you, everybody, for coming. You ended the night beautifully. I love it when we get to end giggling. Have a
Thanks,
nice night.
everybody. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
We're fans. We're all fans.